Oh, bless me.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining. This is going to be a 1 hour show max. We've come on to say hello and to pay respects to Shanquella Robinson as it's her birthday. And while it is not really a celebration, it is um, a recognition of who she is, what she stands for in a movement for so many things. Um, Hope everyone is doing well tonight. I'm gonna let everyone say hello now that I'm gonna go back to eating my hardwood cheese and go ahead, Pepa, and then
Hello,
Sharon.
hello, everybody. Welcome. Sis Sharon,
Hello,
Carl,
everyone. Oh,
Storm.
sorry.
Oh, that's okay. No, I was just saying hi to everybody on the panel. Go ahead.
No, I will get you. Go ahead. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. Hello, Storm, Carl, Paper, and everyone in the chat.
Yeah, good evening, everyone, or afternoon, depending on where you're at. Sharon, Paper, Storm.
Hey, Carl. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Paper. Thank you
Hey,
guys
hey,
for
hey,
joining
hey.
me tonight. Um, it is Shanquella Robinson's birthday today, which she cannot celebrate. She is without us. Um, so I just wanted to take some time out of my schedule because I have been watching so many shows, so many different documentaries like Nancy Grace and others that have just been so good at being her instrumental voice. There was several birthday party celebrations. As far as well, I couldn't say it celebrations. I more say tributes to her as she is not with us anymore. That is the investigation that we talked about with the Cabo Six in Mexico about frenemies and stuff like that. Who to trust, what to do when you're going overseas with people, and know your surroundings, know who's around you. Make sure they really are your friends. So, with that being said, I want to take a moment of silence for Shanquilla and just pray that this case becomes the most loudest case ever and she gets the most justice that anyone's ever deserved. I mean, most of the stuff is live stream media all the time, but you know a lot of people are, I now know why there's some sort of delay, I guess, in taking these people and extraditing them, because I guess this goes a lot deeper than what's on the surface or potentially could. I don't know the truth because I wasn't there, and I just read, but I read a lot and I watch a lot, and I was like, whoa, there's a lot of things that went on with her case, her family, her life, and some are trying to sort of bring up a different side of this as to, you know, why this happened to her. To me, it's still the same old folks did the same old thing, recorded it, and treated it like it was. Whether they were pressed by someone to do that, I don't know. But I think there's a lot more to this case, which is why we're not seeing movement on the FBI side. So I want to say happy birthday to Shanquella. Um, More in a sense that her voice is heard, and I hope everybody hears her voice tonight and today and throughout the rest of the time until her case is solved. All those people need to be behind bars, but it might be bigger than them people thought. Now they're thinking that Cabo, the villa
Mm-hmm.
that was rented, is part of an organized crime, and they were trying to cover up some shit so they wouldn't have to deal with you know um her death scenario.
Correct.
There was
Us.
money
Mm,
paid. There was money paid because that nurse Carolina, spelled with a K, that was the treating nurse in Mexico. um she had so many lies, so much bullshit going on. Nobody had this story straight except the damn maid.
shout
uh,
out to us helping her get fired.
right. So I'm gonna let Shrinking Sharon speak a little bit on this, and I'm gonna, because I know we've both been following it just as much. She's the one that originally introduced me to the story, and then I just got addicted because if if my friends did this, well, I've had a similar situation. Obviously, I'm alive to tell about it, so I didn't die, but I had a similar situation with some friends one day, and so this hits home too. So I'm gonna let Sister Sharon share some stuff as well because she knows a lot about her case.
All right. Hello, Belamo. Hello, Mike. And anybody else who may join. Yes. I first heard about Shanquella's case a week after, unfortunately, Takeoff's demise. They passed like a day apart. They got, unalived a day apart. And so it's like about a week after his case, when we were going hard on his case. And then, come to find out this happened, this video surfaces of frenemies, you know, attacking her because it wasn't a fight, it was an attack. Anybody who wakes you up out your sleep that early in the morning and you don't have any clothes on, you're comfortable enough to sleep with no clothes on, and start jumping on you in front of men and women with no clothes on, that's just an attack. And she didn't even fight back. Today would have been her 26th birthday. So she was only 25. Today she would have turned 26 years old, which I could not imagine. I forbid not only that happening to you, but happening to your child. Your child is going to there to have a good time with, a friend of hers and some associates from college. Never thought that it would end up being something like this. And then the cover up is worse than the crime. Well, both of them is horrible. The cover up is just as bad. And in my opinion, not only was it the first responders that got there, the doctor, the villa, all of them worked together to cover it up. Because, I know you were saying something about the villa being organized crime, but organized crime or not, they didn't want their name attached to something happening. All they cared about, in my opinion, was the bottom line. Oh, this is going to keep tourists from coming to see us. This is going to keep us from making more money. So we were to help in this cover up as pretending like she got overdosed with drinking. Now, if like I said, if you see that night before, she was sleeping just as good in that hammock. And she wasn't too drunk to undress herself to get into bed comfortably and sleep neatly where only one side of the bed was messed up. But my heart goes out to her sister, her mother, and her father You know, it's horrible going through holidays, you know, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and then the same month, her birthday. That's a lot for a family to go through in such a short time. You know, not only having losing your child, but losing your child around the holidays. That makes it even stick out anymore. Stick out even more is what I'm trying to say. The investigation is going slow now, but thank God, you know, Storm, us, different content creators are keeping her name out there. You know, investigating different. We're investigating. I can't believe that a couple of these people still have jobs. Right now, we're trying to work on Elise Hyatt because last we seen she is still working. So we're trying to help her, you know, get unemployed because, you know, but she does have a powerful family behind, more powerful than the rest of them behind her. But I just, you know, I'm just definitely praying that her mother and her father and her sister gets all the support and comfort they need at this time because I know this. I couldn't imagine it.
No, I could not either, Sister Sharon. It's like we're at one point gonna be with daughters that age and have to allow them to do things without being scared, and then we have to put up with stuff like this. It's like, wait a minute now. This is a whole new realm of shit. I mean, if it is organized crime, how did the organized crime? I don't know. I think there's a lot of cover ups that go on in Mexico. What would you say, Marcos? You're from Mexico. Welcome
Yeah,
to the channel, by the way.
thank you. I'm making dinner, by the way. Oh, anyways, well, Raquel, where I live in Mexico, there isn't really much of a cover up because it's really quiet in my part. But I don't know about other parts of Mexico. There might be. Well, I hear about there's a lot of shooting on the road and all that stuff. Like, yeah, but other
What do
than
you think
that,
about the Cabo Six?
the Cabo Six.
Do you think Cabo is involved in organized crime on their villa side and their real estate side and their medical side and all the
Well,
other sides? Because that's basically what this is showing is it's corrupt from the police
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
to
It
the
depends.
AG to the
It de-
villa owner to the Airbnb. No, they've been removed from every Airbnb and every site known to man. So
yeah, because that's what I was
honestly,
gonna say.
I can't hold them responsible for anything. They already removed them.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, it depends who's on the payroll. If it's police, then yeah, the police are involved. Same police are involved. If it's government, then maybe same people in the government are involved also.
Well,
It's just
yeah.
the whole. Oh, go ahead.
How else would they be able to leave the United States if they didn't have, I mean, leave Mexico if they didn't have governmental help or something?
Yeah,
Exactly. And without that doctor was
After
the
that
main key, in my opinion.
shady of a story, after that shady of a story, how the hell did they get to return so quickly? They know everybody's time track when they go through the borders. How?
Yeah, I think that, I mean, in my opinion, I mean, I think that most of the stuff from what, just from, articles and documentaries and things like that I've watched throughout the years about Mexico, and I'm sure not all of it's that way, but um, I've only been to the only place I've actually been myself in Mexico is Tijuana, so, but I think that with the way that this story is going and with the way that the Cabo thing is, I definitely think there's more behind it and probably corruption for sure. in my opinion. And I think it'll come out in the wash eventually if what if it's pushed hard enough by American investigators.
My opinion, I feel like there's more stories like this, and maybe not exactly like this, as far as the friends jumping on the victim, but stories similar that Mexico has been covering up for years
Oh
with their
yeah,
tours.
I would guarantee that there is.
But like I said, Faber, certain parts of Mexico may be like dangerous. I know where I live, we don't hear none of that stuff. It's
Right.
pretty much quiet where I live. But in other parts, there there could be corruption. I'm not too sure, but
Yeah.
it also goes might go up to government or to the police in certain areas. Cer- Certain police might be on the payroll, and also certain people in the government are be on the payroll. I'm not saying all of them are, and then maybe uh certain politicians. I'm not too sure.
Well, I mean, really, in all honesty, there's corruption everywhere. You know, no matter where you are, there's corruption. I think that, um, being it's a different country, it's a lot easier to cover up, versus a local police department here in your hometown. It might not be covered up as easily, but you go to a different country, I think it's just covered up a lot easier, especially when it comes to dealing with um, foreign visitors to that country. I think it'd be a lot easier to cover up anything that's corrupt about the whole thing, which I'm sure there's a lot, and there's a lot that we probably don't know. And I would be willing to put money on it that there's a lot that the FBI and all that have right now in their pockets that we don't know about, you know.
Yeah, I also wanted to make sure, I wanted to say this as well. It does take a minute to extradite, for the extradition process to
Hmm.
happen. And it's a lot of stuff that the government has to go through. One reason why the six have not um, allegedly may have not been transported yet also is that the U.S. is just not going to turn over their citizens like that, which we wouldn't expect them to just turn you over like that. They're going to make sure the I's are dotted and T's are crossed.
Right. They don't want
Or
them
they
to
turn, no matter
die.
what their citizen did, they want to make sure
They'll
everything
get
is
to
right because they don't
Mexico.
want them to.
Yeah, they'll get to Mexico and there'll be no trial. They'll be dead before they get there in some plane crash.
Or they want to make sure that they haven't did something that will help them get off. So they want to make sure that that they're going to have charges that may stick for releasing them over there. They don't want to just because then they may be able to get off on a technicality or something. So they have to watch out for that too.
Yep.
And they're also, I could believe, maybe looking into, was it, because it seemed like it was planned. Was it planned over here in the U.S.? I give the U.S. Jurisdiction too to try them on the premeditation of the crime. It was premeditated over here before they went over there.
Yeah. Someone's gonna crack. I mean,
Yes, my
Well, you would
opinion
think
is
so
it's going to go
because
ahead.
you
Well,
would think
some of
so
the
because they already released the video.
right.
Somebody released that video for a reason.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
exactly.
They didn't delete it.
Yep.
Who do you believe released that video out of the six? Or
Who
out of
had
the
it?
5, because remember, Nazir was not there. So, I mean,
Did
he
they
may have
all
got a
have
hold
it?
of the
The
video
They
video?
later,
face
but then again,
they
I'm not sure.
FaceTime somebody. Who did they FaceTime?
Winner,
That's not out yet.
winner FaceTime Nazir, allegedly.
But right, but
So
even
maybe
though
Because Nazir wasn't there yet.
Nazir wasn't
maybe it
there when
was
the video
Nazir.
was released.
He wasn't there when the fight happened. He was on his way there. It was for his birthday, too. He didn't get there till after everything
But
happened.
he could have been recording it on the FaceTime.
He could
That
have. He
or
could have been recording it on a FaceTime, too, because he was on FaceTime with Winner, allegedly.
I don't the video it wasn't released publicly by them until a few days later, correct?
Right. It was going around Facebook
Like
to
2
friends
weeks.
and family and stuff. I'm not friends and family, but well, I guess to their friends or whoever.
Not until the autopsy was completed from her taking a week to get her daughter's body home, the mother.
Well, no, they said it was going around for a while. It just didn't. They sent it to the mother. They sent it to the family. Got publicly released after the autopsy, but the video had already been out. But they didn't know who the people were.
Oh.
That
That's
video
what
had
I'm
been
saying.
being passed around Facebook.
When
Because you know
was the first time that
people fight people,
video?
record people getting fight. Well, they didn't know that that it was
That's what
her,
I
and
was.
somebody put 2 and 2 together.
I
Yeah,
heard November 11th, but I could be wrong.
that's what I was curious about, was when was the actual video released on Facebook or to whoever, not the police releasing it or whatever, but the actual whoever it was recording it or whoever it was that released it of them. When was that actually happened? Was it that day?
That we don't know, but I know that her
Or have they
sister said
said?
that
What was?
she had already got rumors that they were fighting, that they
I guess
that they
how was it
fought her sister.
released? Do we know how it was released?
Through Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody posted it on Twitter.
But it started off on Facebook.
Yeah. I found it on the first time I saw any posting of it was from a Twitter post or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw it
I saw on Twitter and Facebook. They already had her hashtag out and everything all over Facebook.
They had the IG video of that guy, right, sis?
Right, and Nazir.
Yeah.
I think it was Nazir that released it. That's my opinion.
I believe it's between Nazir and Elise. And the reason why I say Nazir is because maybe Nazir, because he wasn't there for everything, and even though he was doing a lot of talking and saying a whole lot of nothing that would help him much, I feel like it could have been him to say, hey, I wasn't even there. But then again, I think it may have been Elise. I feel like the reason why I feel like it may have really been Elise more than Nazir is because she has a sister that's in law enforcement. They've been in law enforcement over 20 years. And then on top of that, her sister had got unalived the day before Shanquella, remember? She found out when they got to that trip that her sister had got killed by her boyfriend. So she wasn't with them a lot. And she was really upset. And Shanquella, one of the last posts that Shanquella left was kind of shading her for not being there with them when they went out to eat and stuff. Shanquella was acting like it was no big deal or whatever. And then the other thing is also that, like I said, she has a lot of prominent family. So, and I felt like, she may have had only one with kind of a conscience.
Amen. Yep.
So my opinion is between, it may not been them, but my opinion between her and Isaiah Wiggins.
Makes sense with the Elise thing because because of her family history with law enforcement and the fact that she probably was like, what the hell is going on? I mean, who knows? Maybe she was
her sister getting murdered literally the day before she's there for Shanquella getting, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that word, but you know what I'm saying. Deleted the day before the very day before.
Right.
Literally. Yeah. The time she gets home, did you see the video where she was at her sister's funeral and she had to speak?
That
was weird.
See that. I didn't see that one.
So
yeah, I mean, That's why I haven't been able. I've looked in a few different places to see a timeline of when the original video was found versus when the police actually full-fledged released that
Stop
video,
capturing it.
or it was all over the place.
I I think it was after the Cabo 6 got home, at least. So it had
Yeah,
been over 48 hours.
Yeah, and that's
right.
what I'm saying. That's why I say I think it was Nazir
Yeah. Hello, Cabo.
And
because
like I said, they thought originally that
he
it was just a fight video going around.
because he had the perfect alibi.
Right.
You know.
That's why he should have stayed shut up and you only
Mhm.
talked to the police. But all the stupid stuff he said.
Right.
And then so that just puts the light on him, more of him being a part of the cover up after the crime.
Yep.
Like, at least if you're not going to say anything while you're there and you're scared and you going back to the U.S., at least as soon as you get to the U.S., I don't care. You can say snitches get stitches all they want to. I'm going to the police and I'm stitching.
Yeah. I mean, especially in his situation where he wasn't even there.
Exactly.
But did he play a role? If it was premeditated, did he play a
That's what
role in
they're
it?
trying to.
That's what they're trying to find out.
know?
That he know beforehand.
Right.
And I think they're going through deleted messages and stuff like that they're
Yep.
taking from these people's phone, because they obviously had a big discrepancy in the time of death and all that. So they're doing some research to see what's going on them phones. Who did they contact? What did they do before? How did they get this much cover up and were able to get to the US? I think that is the FBI's biggest question. Like, how were they able to leave? Like,
I feel like that doctor had a lot to do with how they were able to leave.
Yep.
Because if she would have wrote what she wrote down, they wouldn't be free.
Oh yeah, 100%.
The doctor had a lot to do with it. So she should be under the jail along with them. I mean, everybody in the cover up should, but she definitely should be really caught the Cabo 7, in my opinion. Because
Or 10.
10, 12, however, but I'm just saying, we know that she had just as big of a role because
Yep.
she clearly was unalive when the doctor got there.
100%.
This mess that the doctor said, that is a straight up lie. If you watch, I tell you somebody who really breaks down everything really, really great timeline, everything besides Danny Robertson does, but the next person who break what Sean does too, but another person who breaks down everything because he literally lived there before too is Martin Lewis. He is so detailed with everything. He is so on everything that nobody even thinks about.
Yeah, I love watching all of them. They all have a different point of view too.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so because
Is it sorry, is it Martin Lewis Resurrected?
yes.
Okay. You want me to
Yes,
share
he usually
his channel for him?
Sure.
I said he Sean Davy Way and Danny. I mean, it's been some other people too, but it really have been in. Danny is the one who created the petition, Danny Robinson, for Shanquella that her father and mother approved. The Justice for Shanquella, not I forgot, I'm trying to say the name of it. Right there. January 27th. So.
Yeah, there's his channel in the chat.
But yes, I can't even think of the name of the petition. But anyway, the petition, and that petition has been shared everywhere.
So after seeing the weird deaths and cases in Mexico, I'd say the past 3 months, do you as American citizens feel safe going there? I mean, my guests on the panel, because
No, I feel like that's where we should show Mexico, right there in our pockets.
Amen.
If we hit them in the pockets and don't show our support there and go other places and not go there and be like, Until you treat our citizens better, we will not patronize your country.
I am not feeling safe going there at this point, even to a
Exactly.
tourist destination. I've never felt safe
Mm-mm.
going on the roads and stuff like that, but you shouldn't in any country that you don't know where you're going. You
Yeah.
should go to your
And
destination or whatever. So I'm not singling them out there, but in light of all this cover up and all this bullshit, it really makes me second guess even something happening out there, the same thing happening to me or any one of my children.
100%. Yeah, I mean,
And that's what's frustrating too, you know?
there's been not just this, but there's been several over the last few years of things going on over there that just kind of you hear about it and then it gets swept under the rug and the stories are gone. You don't hear anything more about it. And yeah, I know myself, I definitely have no desire to travel there.
and
Marcos does.
mhm.
Sorry, Marcos,
I
I
go
won't be
every
seeing you.
I,
Yeah, we do not want to go there, Marcos.
I go I go every year.
And you can go over there every year. You can represent everybody.
But
I'm
for
not going
certain,
there to get.
like I said, certain areas. I'm not saying all of them. Certain
The majority
areas.
of the U.S. don't know them certain areas. That's like, for example, if you come to the state I live in, I know what places to be safe in, what sides of town you should
But
go on, and what sides of
Sam,
town you shouldn't.
Well, wait a
also,
minute, Marcos. Cabo
yeah,
is a tourist destination. What the fuck's going
Right, it
on
should
over
be
there?
somewhat
and
safe.
so is
But the rest,
Acapulco and Puerto Vallarta. But like I said before, there's certain areas in those tourist destinations that are what you would call the hood.
Wasn't it Puerto Vallarta that was getting that had like 3 or 4 different shootings there for like a week or 2 weeks straight?
Yeah, but like I said last week, paper there's certain areas of those tourist destinations that are considered the hood,
Oh,
and where I live, uh,
In
it is
your
it,
opinion,
it
Marcos,
is technically the hood.
Marcos' opinion, these thoughts and opinions are Marcos only.
yeah, right. In your opinion only, Marcos, what is the best place to vacation in Mexico?
Uh, well, in my opinion, Raquel, because you don't hear you don't hear nothing
Tell us some
going on.
papers' opinion.
You don't hear nothing going on. Is where I'm from, which is Leon. The only tourist attraction that we have there is the mummies. That's it.
So
so
why the hell
why
did you make
vacation?
that a tourist destination?
Yeah, but in Guanajuato paper, it's known for the mummies, like
Mm.
Egyptian mummies, I guess, or
So
Aztec
Egyptian
mummies.
Egyptian
what
mummies?
what
Wait,
attractions
what?
are there in that area to make it a tourist area though, is what I'm saying. Other
Uh,
than that,
well,
is that the only thing that's in the
Did you
area?
just say they found Egyptian Muslim
no,
mummies in
no, Raquel, no,
Mexico?
but Aztec mummies,
Oh,
Raquel. Yeah, because
uh,
in Guanajuato, the whole state is considered las mo- if you see the like the old school 1960s uh luchador movie with Blue Demon, there's a movie called Las Momias de Guanajuato, which is the mummies of Guanajuato, and that's one of that. I think the main tourist attraction that we have over there.
Mm.
But other than that, people go into the city and go shopping.
nice.
Mm.
And
Did they get robbed in the city?
well, that I do not know because I haven't been in the city since I was little. Maybe when the last time was in the city was what, maybe like a year ago. But that was because my little cousin just got married like 2 3 years ago.
Hey, Sam.
Hello, Sam. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Tim.
Also, another thing too. I mean, I know it happens in a lot of places, but definitely over there, and that's one reason why they also were allowed to get away with it is you can bribe them easy. Everybody tells you make sure you bring extra money because you get put aside the road. For a couple of $100 or so much money. You can get away with this. You could be speeding or anything. You pay your money right, you can get
Didn't
away.
they pay that
Pretty much.
doctor $5,000? Them people.
They claimed they said they had to get claimed they had to get 17,000 from the parents, which
Yeah.
they wouldn't go for it. And then on top of that, they said that they had to have 5,000 or something like that because they could not take her to the hospital over there unless they had the money, which that got debunked and found out to be a lie. They're just like over here. They will take you to the emergency room if you need to go. You don't have to pay that money like that to be able to go to the emergency room. Plus, they supposedly had that doctor that worked for the hotel. So,
That's not
and I think
adding
that's
up.
another thing that was a red flag too.
Yep.
Over here in the U.S., they said if you're not speaking and you're not able to talk for yourself, and they come to see about you, your friends, your family could say all they want to. They don't want you to go to the
In
hospital.
Mexico too.
They have to send you to the hospital. They have to check you out because other than that, it's going to be on them. Why didn't they send you to the hospital to get checked out? If you can't speak for yourself to say whether you want to go or not, it's mandatory that they take you to the hospital.
Raquel, going back to Mexico, there is safe ways of getting there, and there's not so safe ways of getting there. So the safest way of getting there is through the toll booths. If you go through the free highway, it's the free highway is dangerous. The only safest way to actually make it to Mexico is through the toll booths.
Sounds like a lovely place to go for a little blunt cruise.
Yeah. See, there's we call it
like 10 AR-15s and 10,000 rounds of ammunition.
well, Raquel, we call it the libre and caseta. Caseta is the safest way. The libre is dangerous. When we go, we always do caseta, which is the toll booths.
You have to, or you die.
And
Wow.
Especially you, Marcos. They'd have you into human trafficking in a heartbeat.
How good is your Spanish? Is your Spanish very good, Marcos?
I speak it all day, every day.
Oh, okay.
Aside from when I talk to you guys, I'm always speaking Spanish.
Okay.
Yeah. Or if I'm talking to one of my brothers or both of my brothers, I might speak English with them, and maybe my nephew too. But other than that,
Sometimes even when he talks to us.
He certainly does.
yeah, but you guys are used to it. You guys are used to me speaking in Spanish. Papel.
In Spanish, we can't understand your English, so don't worry about it.
Carl, what do you think about everything? What you learned on this topic?
Who?
Carl.
Mm.
You may have stepped away.
Oh, I think if I think if their their government's helping to cover it up, it kind of makes me wonder: are they going to do what they can to get them over there to make it go away, so the FBI doesn't get more involved in what's going on, like you said, to protect tourism or whatever their agenda might be. Um, kind of like, hey, if we try this, in Mexico and dish out some punishment or justice or whatever they might do, maybe the FBI won't, like I said, won't get more involved and dig deeper and, put more out there. I kind of wonder if that's how that might go down,
Yeah,
as opposed to the
Possibility.
FBI. From what I understand, the FBI can choose to try it and deal with them here, even though it happened over there, because they're U.S. citizens.
Right, right. That, and because also they're trying to figure out, which we kind of feel by the way they were acting. Because I don't know if you've seen any of the videos, but in one of the videos, she was trying to get their attention. She was like, "I know it don't take you that long to get naked, but she was saying basically to get ready to go swimming, and they both was just plain ignoring her, like she wasn't even
Right.
talking. And when she got in the room, they just all looked at her all strange, so you could tell that they was already acting funny towards her. There's several videos. There's one video where they're out to dinner and they're talking, and she's just trying to join the conversation and say something, but they're basically ignoring her there too. And you could just tell that they kept shading her. And then when she was sleeping in a hammock, best friend ain't gonna say, we got a first dead body, like it's a joke. Even though I know that is a code for whoever passes out first when you're drunk. But
Right.
it's just the whole, when you look back on all the videos that they got out there, and then he used her phone and posted it on her IG.
That's why I
So
think that was kind of like, did they even know it was going on? Why would he do that? Like, it's so stupid.
I don't think that that's where a lot of people feel like, not everybody, but a lot of people feel like they didn't mean to unalive her. They meant to really embarrass her, to shade her, to shame her.
Yeah.
That's the
So you're
reason why
saying
they beating her.
they posted the video of the fight or the
Oh yeah,
beating on
yes,
her
yes.
on
And
No,
her
she has
Instagram?
no clothes on at all.
not on her Instagram. The
No,
guy, the one of her friends took her phone the night before it
her
happened
very best friend.
and said the first dead body, meaning she was sleeping.
Oh,
She had knocked out first. She was sleeping on a
I
hammock,
see.
and
I see.
they were
Right.
all
She was
partying.
still alive then. She was just asleep.
Yeah.
But that's the code for, if you are
Right,
stay for
right,
your partying, and then you be the first one to pass out.
right, right, right. I see.
So that means she went to bed comfortable enough in the
Hmm.
hammock. There was no problems before bed. She walked herself up to her room. Her mom said she slept naked, so she was comfortable enough to take her clothes off and get in bed. So what the fuck happened after she woke up? That's my question. What happened? Those are
or
not.
that night during the party that between somebody that
No,
wasn't.
I think it was premeditated. In my opinion, from what I have read, I feel like some of this was premeditated. I feel like it was that Dejanay girl's birthday, and they
It was
were
hers and Nazir's birthday.
embarrassed. Dejanay,
Yeah.
Dejanay and Nazir, yeah, birthday. Hmm.
although
Yeah.
there's a whole huge bigger like thing that I have to look into more before I even speak about it. But it's like this whole other conspiracy theory of it was a big organization of millions and millions and millions of dollars of federal funding that were stolen with uh, PPP loans that were ultimately.
I'm not going with that. I'm not going with that. Is that coming from that one person I don't like?
No,
Oh,
I've
okay.
seen it on like 3 different channels now, and it's not even, and some of them have been for Shanquella, but have said that she might have been helping to take down some organizations. So, I don't know. I mean,
That right there, I don't believe. But
yeah, I don't
but we do all know about the PPP loans. But you know how many people got the PPP loans? I didn't, but a lot. You know how many people got PPP loans coming out of the pandemic?
exactly. Well, there was some other shit. I'll show it to you later, sis, because like I
Okay.
said, I haven't really got into it with you yet. So what we'll do, I'm gonna keep doing her shows because until she gets justice, her name needs to be heard. Why isn't the main
Yes.
media picking this up even more? I know
That,
there's not much updates, but just get it out there. I mean, this shit has to stop.
Yes, there's a hashtag out there. Hashtag say her name. A hashtag keep Shanquella Robinson's name alive, and another hashtag, of course, justice for Shanquella.
Yeah, that third one, justice for Shanquella. That's what I say. Justice.
But it's just it's horrible. They all was around. I think the oldest one there was 27, and it's really horrible. I mean, them filming that was some stuff you expect teenagers to be doing.
Yep. And
filming it and
not even they learned that stuff in
exactly.
school. They lose their phone. They lose their this. They lose, like
right.
These are adults acting like this who all knew each other. This is crazy. So
yeah,
definitely watch your front and your back, folks, and your side and your every other fucking angle, because you never know who's out there.
Right. And like I say, we know that
are closer than they appear.
right. Right. Like I said, we know that happened to her. What happened to her? According to the autopsy, she passed like 15 minutes after the incident. According to the doctor, is a different time, but we know she pretty much had to pass right after the incident because she never contacted anybody. Last person she talked to outside of them was her mom the day before.
Yep.
She didn't call not one person, where she was the type of person to call her family every day, or call somebody every day. Or answer the phone at least when they called her.
They're saying it was about 10 to 12, according to the autopsy, her time of death between 10 and 12 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then they didn't. That doctor came at 3 p.m. and then they said the time of death was 5 p.m. Like nothing is making sense with
nothing is everything is so different. But we know, like I say, you can kind of tell that it pretty much was closer to right after what happened than later, because she's not even going to call. She's not even going to, even though of course, okay, another theory possibly they could have took her phone. Is why she never contacted anybody the rest of the day. But that just, it's more likely that that happened to her earlier than later.
And then that doctor was saying she did CPR for 2.5 hours when the average.
Exactly. Who does CPR for 2.5 hours? I've seen so many movies. I've never heard of that in my life.
Nope.
And she had a 30-second seizure, or a 1-minute seizure, or something like that.
One doctor did CPR for 2.5 hours.
And then there's another thing that didn't add up too. Sorry,
I haven't seen that part.
Oh, and yeah, 2.5 hours. She said they were trying to get her back to life, and it's like,
Oh, and don't forget, Storm. Don't forget, not only after the doctor did all that to revive her and do all that stuff after the doctor left, Winter turned around and still had to call 911. So then the paramedics came.
Yeah, because she said, "What? No, we don't want you guys taking her to the hospital." So the doctor said, "Okay." Their friends are saying, "Let's keep her here." That's where I call bullshit on the doctor right there.
That, and then the fact that after they left her there, like I said, Winter has to turn around and call the 911 again.
Yep.
They could have come since the doctor just seen her, take her to the hospital.
As being an ex-fireman, there's no way possible one person can do CPR for 2.5 hours. There's no way.
Well, wouldn't there be cracked ribs and shit like that?
Well,
signs of that.
Most generally, you're gonna have usually that's one of the first things that happen when you start doing CPR is you crack a rib.
Right.
But about 20 minutes into doing CPR on somebody, you are exhausted.
And considered clinically dead in the eyes of the medical books. Like that's what it says according to the sources that I read, is the average is like 20 minutes when they call stoppage of CPR, because it can do more damage if they already haven't come back to life, if they are still alive.
Right.
And then they moved her so many times, changed her clothes. First, the maid said she was found in the bathroom. Then somebody else said she was found in the living room. Oh,
is it normal for a hotel to have? Well, it wasn't even a hotel; it was an Airbnb, right? Is it normal for them to have medical staff on?
They didn't have medical staff. The maid came.
No, the hotel did have. That woman was hired from, because if you look at I don't know if you watched
the
Sean
American.
David Wade's show last week.
She was, but she was also part of another organization called like the American Hospital Staff.
Yeah, that's the name of the American Hospital. But the Cabo people, the village had, they hired her through the hospital.
Correct.
It's like she worked for the hospital, but she was their on staff doctor.
Yes, but she worked for an organization outside that hotel also.
Right.
Yeah,
she worked for the hospital, and that's where they were assigned her to go there to work.
That is, maybe it is normal over there. I don't know. I've never stayed.
Okay, it's not just me. It's not just me then, Paper.
Yeah, I've never stayed all night in Mexico.
There was a large hospital that was able to handle cases like hers immediately if they would have done the right protocol. And it was close by, and they never brought her there. Bottom line, they let her go. And I know it's.
Yeah, I mean, that nurse should be held just as responsible as far as murder goes.
Oh yeah, nurse doctor. She was a specialist at that, because when Sean called last week, when we got her fired last week, I think Sean called the hospital. They was like, when he called to make an appointment, because he made like he was making an appointment. Sean David Way. He wanted to see specifically her if he gets sick or something. And they were making like she was a specialist, like she wasn't just a regular doctor, she was a specialist, and they were trying to find out where the injuries was and everything. And then they finally told that they let her go, and it's live on his show where he called there. He called twice, as a matter of fact. Talked to two different people, because we were live, and he was like, "I'm gonna call them again." He said, "So make sure she's fired. We're gonna call again and see what they say. We're gonna make and stuff." He called right back, and they was like, "Oh yeah, they let her go. She's no longer working."
Yeah, that was sad.
Exactly. No, it wasn't.
21 to 25 minutes, Mike says, is the average CPR time. And it's true.
Yeah,
I was reading.
You get so exhausted from giving CPR. They make it look easy on TV and all that, but if you've ever done it before, especially the old way, without the bag, without where you actually have to breathe and all that, you're exhausted. Within a few minutes, you're exhausted, but by 2.5 hours, it's impossible.
It's like just watching it makes it look like it's a workout to me.
It is. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, listen, you guys, we've got about 7 minutes left. I'd like to get back to, just recognizing that it is this young girl's birthday, and unfortunately, she wasn't able to see her, 26th birthday. But hopefully that justice is heard, and that everybody, came out and, does something for her birthday today. I hope so. And that's why we came on. I said I was going to keep it at an hour. I'm going to try to finish it up, let everybody say their goodbyes. And then, if someone wants to make a meets and post it in the, the Telegram group, that's fine. But I would like to wrap it up. I want to say justice, Shanquella, and we will continue covering this story. And until justice is served and something is done about it, because I feel like it's going to get real loud if justice isn't done, and I feel like again, it takes a little time, because this is an odd case. This is a case of Americans being extradited to Mexico. And again, I'm towards on the fence of Carl, where America is afraid to give up these people because they probably won't make it to the fucking trial. That's my humble opinion. I'm no lawyer or nothing, but to sum it up, that's my thoughts. My prayers go with the family, and I know this. I couldn't imagine going through this. I couldn't imagine going through this around this time of year, and have been dealing with it as long as the family already has to. I'm gonna give it over to you guys and to wrap it up and say your final thoughts, and then we'll wrap the show up. Thanks, guys, for coming. I'll let Paper go, and Carl, then Marcos and Sharon.
All right. Well, first, thanks everybody for coming to the show. Thanks, Storm, for having me on the panel. And yeah, hopefully justice does get served soon for her and for her family, friends. Um, you know, it's sad for sure, and just wishing a birthday blessings to her, and thoughts again with the family and friends and everybody. If you can look for these stories, read up on it, follow up on it, sign that petition. I don't know, I think Sharon might still have the link, or I don't have it myself.
I
um,
sent it to Storm.
okay. And go sign the petition, and keep going with this until she gets justice. So thanks again, everybody, and peace out.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Storm. Yeah, definitely prayers to her family. I couldn't imagine it going through it at all. You know, my daughter's not that much younger than what she would have been today, and just definitely makes you think. Like I said, thanks for having me on.
Thanks for having me. Thanks everybody for coming. Have a good night and see you all next time.
I want to say thoughts and prayers out to her family. Happy heavenly birthday, Shanquella. She's gone, but she's far from forgotten. We will keep her name alive. Hashtag say her name. Hashtag keep Shanquella Robinson's name alive. Hashtag justice for Shanquella. I mean, I could not imagine that this, happening to ourselves, less alone our children. You seeing your children somewhere like that saying is so true that when your children are young, they're on your hearts. I mean, they're on your. But then when they're away from you, they're always on your minds and your hearts. You're wondering, are they okay? Is everything okay? Are they adjusting to life? Transitioning on their own. You want your children to be able to go out and spread their wings, make it on their own. You would never think that people that's supposed to have been friends of theirs, that's supposed to have been close to them, that you're trusting to have a good time with your child, or turn around and do this to your child. And definitely, I agree with what Carl said the about how come the Americans may be afraid to turn her over there. Also, the fact that Mexico, a lot of times they don't even have trial. A lot of times they just put you in jail. You don't even have a trial. So they may give a trial, they may not even give a trial. You just have to go in front of everybody and say what they're guilty about. They don't have a say, they don't plead in this. They just have to say it, and then after that, a lot of times they just throw them in jail. And sometimes the judge doesn't even show up to the trial. A lot of times in Mexico. So we're just praying that she does get the justice that she deserves. And thank you, Storm, for having me on the panel. Thank you, everyone, for coming out to the show. Thank you, Paper, Carl, and Marcos for joining as well. Hashtag justice for Shanquella.
Thanks, everyone. Everyone have a good night. Thanks for everyone in the chat and on the panel that came out tonight. Love you guys. See you on the next one. Peace.
Peace out.